Oh, this is exciting. The draft is less than 10 days away. It's right around the corner. It's actually, what is it, like next week? Unbelievable. Joining us right now, a two-time national champ, part of the senior class that racked up 50 wins in college. He is a winner. He put up a whopping 6.5 yards per rush attempt. That's insane last season. With 14 touchdowns, Kendall Milton, 14 touchdowns at Georgia?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. How you guys doing? Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. What does it feel like to hear the draft is finally next week?
I mean, really, it feels crazy because I remember being, that kid growing up, just watching the draft, watching the combine, watching the big names that you see all season throughout college football, and to just kind of reflect now and see, really what's right in front of me. This is kind of a dream come true. This is something that I would say wasn't really kind of imagined, going through playing youth football and everything like that. But to see everything unfold how it is truly a blessing.
I mean, we'll get to your impressive college career. It is a blessing. But let's go back to 8th grade and that mindset, okay? You're 6'1". You're 6'1". It's so crazy. 185 pounds at ALTA Sierra. And here you are talking about the pressure on you before you're even in high school.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I remember I was
off myself, but I also tried to keep enough pressure to know that, to think that I can do good, because a lot of kids can't experience what I've done. So it's just, I'm just grateful for the opportunities that I get.
Wait, what's wrong with it?
My voice was so high back then, looking back now is like, sheesh, didn't really seem like it back then, but it's like you could definitely tell that was like that super young Kendall.
You look like a grown man. I can't believe you're in 8th grade there. You were already getting college offers. But the voice doesn't matter. What you're saying matters.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have that same mindset now that you had back then?
I definitely do, and I definitely feel like it's probably increased to certain levels, just going through different experiences, having, different level of competition. Being able to play with a lot of the guys that I played with, they pushed me every single day when it came to practice, workouts, even in the film room. Like we were so competitive in every area, which is why we were able to achieve such greatness. And, that's why I feel like I've kept that mindset and taken it to another level.
Well, you're different from me, Kendall, because if I was in 8th grade and if I had an offer from BYU, and if I had 10+ offers by the time I was a sophomore in high school, like you, I would be, I'm good. I'm a made girl. What do you credit, whether it's you, your family, whatever, coaches, what kept you grounded? Because that's a lot at a young age.
Yeah, I would say really just my support system as a whole. There's a saying, I believe, it takes a village to raise a child, and I feel like it was my coaches, my family, my teachers, my friends. It was, everybody that kind of just helped build me into who I am, today. So I feel like I was definitely blessed to have the surrounding that I had because, they made it easy for me to stay grounded. They made it easy for me to keep my head on straight and keep the main thing. So I'm really just blessed to have the upcoming that I really had.
There's all the tangibles. Everyone knows what people are looking for, whether they want the prototype, the mold, whatever. I talk to these GMs, these coaches, and one thing that I think flies under the radar as far as something that they're really looking for is somebody that can deal with adversity. Somebody that's been through something, somebody that's had to go through and come out on the other side, handling it well and better than before. And I think you deserve credit for that. I mean, even just on the field, but that's not just physical, it's up here. You had 14 touchdowns last year. 13 of them came in the last 9 games, coming back from an injury. And you're thinking, I want to be in the NFL. All this is in your head. What does coming back and finishing the season the way you did say about you?
I feel like it just shows my resilience. It shows my composure. And those are really, like I said before, how it takes a whole village. Those two descriptives, those were things that we had as our kind of team motto that we kind of, as a Georgia football team, held a standard to. We wanted to be resilient and we wanted to have composure. And I feel like throughout the season, dealing with injury, dealing with adversity, I had to kind of just keep my mindset strong because, in my opinion, there was no point of really feeling bad for myself or getting in a low point because especially, in the situation I was in my senior year, middle of the football season, that's only going to do more harm for me than any good. So, I really just kind of kept my mindset positive. I kept working. I kept, I started to attack the training room, attack, the workout areas that can help me improve my injury. So, I feel like it was really easy for me to just kind of stay focused, as well as I had teammates that every single day before every game, they just let me know that they believe in me. And, I feel like any player would say that means the world to them, knowing that their teammates, go out there on the field and they believe in them to be able to achieve their dream and do their job. So
you handle low points really well, and then you handle the high points really well, too. Let's go to let's talk about the Orange Bowl, shall we? 60-point win over Florida State. That is the largest margin of victory in NCAA bowl game history. You, my friend, were the MVP. 9 carries for over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. No surprise that Pro Football Focus, numbers that everybody uses across the board, they have you as the highest graded running back from bowl season. How special was that night to end your college career?
It means the world to me, just especially, knowing what I dealt with, going through the season, knowing, what I had to really overcome, and just being able to achieve that success, but not even just achieve that success myself, but with my teammates, with, the younger guys who might not have played all season, and I have got the opportunity for them to go out there and, score a touchdown and do their little dance, that just made me feel good. And I remember after the game, after the whole MVP ceremony, I went to one of my very close teammates, Cedric Van Pran, and I remember throughout the whole season, dealing with injury, dealing with, the media saying different stuff, dealing with having to come back. He let me know before every game that he believed in me. And, that was something that really meant the world to me. And I remember after the game, holding my trophy, he had came up to me, let me know that he was proud of me. And I really showed my appreciation of, just letting him know, like what you said to me, that really did a lot for me in the low points. And, I was really starting to shed a tear in that moment. So that's somebody that definitely, I would say helped keep me high in spirits during those times. And, just truly grateful, truly humbled to be able to, stand up there on that stage and throw oranges to the crowd.
Crazy. And I admit it, everybody knows I don't follow the college game very much, but I know that they sat a couple of the players, but that Florida State defense was so good all year long. The fact that you were able to do it against them of all teams is wild to me.
Yeah, it was just a situation that, especially coming off of the Alabama game, we were super hungry. Yeah. We felt that we really should have been, in the top 4 in the playoffs, and we really felt that, we were kind of cheated out in a way. So we really took it onto us to show college football, to show the country why we deserve to be in that game. So I remember going through those practices at Berry College in Miami, and it was really started to turn into like a little scrimmage at a certain point. Like, it wasn't just light thud. It wasn't just going through easy, like normal bowl season practices. Yeah. It was really almost like I said, a scrimmage, tackling, going down to the ground, hitting. We really took it onto us, because especially myself as a senior, I didn't want to go my last game out with, leaving stuff on the field with the outcome that I was going to, regret forever. So we really took it personal as a team to just, I would say, attack the last game.
That says a lot about you. It says a lot about Kirby Smart and the coaches, too. And I think Georgia fans are just going to eat that up, because that is absolutely amazing. I'll say also, we should point out, as I'm sitting here listening to you, I'd love to be your teammate. I just feel like you'd go to war with me, as you did even in that game. You could have sat that game out. You could have said, I'm going to the NFL. You were one of, I believe you before the team captain said, after the SEC championship game, you said, I'm going to play in this game. Why was that so important to you?
Really, for me, because I know throughout the whole season, I know leading up to that game, what my brothers put on the line for me. I know how much, because I'm with them every day through the hard days, through, going through the season super sore, super beat up, and having to go in early to your lift and having to push through a Georgia practice. And Georgia practice, we have Bloody Tuesdays, we have, Wicked Wednesdays. It gets crazy in Georgia's practice. So I would say just knowing what my teammates put on the line and knowing how much they supported me throughout the whole season, it was like a no-brainer for me to, play in that game, because in my opinion, I feel like we really had no reason to sit out, especially me being fully healthy at the point that it was at. I felt that it was no reason for me to sit out, and I wanted to be able to play with my brothers. Because at the end of the day, in my opinion, that was the last game, and it was going to be the last time that I was going to be able to put on a Georgia uniform. That was going to be the last time I was going to be able to play with a lot of my teammates that I played with. So, I wanted to kind of take every moment in and make the most of every moment.
Kendall, what is Bloody Tuesday?
Bloody Tuesday. So it's funny because, Coach Sinclair, our strength coach, I don't know if it's fake blood. I never really got the hold of it, but so before a warm up, he'll we'll all be in our little warm up lines, and he'll have I guess a little fake light pole or a fake bottle, and he'll crack it over his head, and I guess a fake blood. Bloody Tuesday is basically the day that sets the tempo for Saturday. You know what I mean? So that's the day that after Bloody Tuesday, you're gonna have to hop in that ice tub. You're gonna be really sore.
Are you joking?
Nah, I'm dead serious.
He hits
Anybody
a bottle over his head, and there's fake blood. And what do y'all do?
I mean, at a certain point, it's just it's funny to me because if you know Coach Sinclair, he'll be that dude when it's 105 degrees out there. He'll come out there with a big puff snow coat on and say he's not an excuse. You know what I mean? He's one of those coaches that's gonna set the tempo for everybody.
Is this something that everybody knows that I don't know? Because I think Georgia, cute Bulldog, great. I did not understand Bloody.
Nah.
Do people know about Bloody Tuesdays? It's a thing?
Yeah, Bloody Tuesdays is a real thing. That's within Georgia, that's known.
It sounds like you're gonna handle the NFL great, just okay. Because
I
don't think.
I feel like if, especially the players that I played with, I remember my freshman year coming in, the whole defense was basically first rounders. Everybody
Nate,
went to
shout
the
them
NFL.
out.
All right, I'm gonna shout out Jermaine Johnson, Jordan Davis, Devontae Wyatt, Trayvon Walker, Nolan Smith,
Wow.
Robert Beal, N'Kobe Dean, Monty Rice, Quay Walker, Tyson Campbell, Eric Stokes, Richard LeCount, Lewis Seen, Chris Smith. You know what I mean? Everybody, literally the whole defense. So I remember first day in pads, Coach McGee threw me in with the ones. I'm fresh out of high school, first college, but I really took it in though because I knew what to I knew the tempo I had to play at. I knew you couldn't be out there running soft. I knew you couldn't be out there, you had to really be on all P's and Q's. So I knew what I was getting myself into.
That is insane, practicing against all those guys. They're literally all in the NFL, and then people wonder, where those 50 wins come from. That's insane. Who out of all those guys you named, I know it's hard to say, but from your position, from your whatever, who sort of sharpened your, iron sharpens iron? Who was that guy for you? Throughout your NFL career, or through your college career, sorry.
Yeah, on the defense, I would say one of the main guys was, I would say, Quay Walker. Because I remember his time at UGA, he was one of those guys that, he really challenged me every single day. He was one of those guys that he wasn't going to take a rep off ever. When you're getting Quay, you're getting his best, and he's not a small dude. He's not a small dude at all, and he's talented with a combination of, speed and skill and being able to work certain moves and things like that. So it really, and also, like I said, he's super strong, so it makes you really stay on all, have to really focus on your technique and things like that. And he's really one of those just, real smart linebackers that's kind of, because in his position now in the NFL, I would say he's the leader of the defense. So, he was just one of those guys that really just challenge you every single day.
See, Quay, when I look at Quay, he's a little spicy. He's he's talking trash. He's pushing dudes around. Yeah. He's pushing the envelope a little bit. That's the Quay Walker I see in the NFL.
Yeah. Now Quay, he was one of those guys. I remember in practice, we would because like I said, our practice was super competitive.
Yeah.
So the trash talk, it would go there sometimes, but when he gets in the locker room, Quay, he's a real teammate. He's gonna let you know he cares about you. He's gonna let you know that, it's all love at the end of the day. So he's somebody that I consider a brother now.
I love that. Okay, let's get into some more of this. You put up big numbers with Georgia, of course, last season. You still were splitting carries. So, talk to all the GMs right now, these coaches that this will, go across their desk. Why what makes you confident that you can be a 3-down back on the NFL level? Go.
I would say just my ability to have the combination of size, speed, power, being able to pass block, catch out the backfield. I feel like my running style, especially being a 3rd-down back, is being able to convert those 3-4 yard runs into 30-40 yard runs, because I feel like my yards after contact speaks for itself, my contact balance, my ability to break tackles and advanced plays. I feel like, being able to be a threat to defenders on all levels just kind of speaks for my game in itself, and having the ability to pass, catch out the backfield and being able to trust your back, to be able to pick up that linebacker when your quarterback is in the pocket. I feel like those are things that kind of speaks for itself in terms of, needing a 3rd-down back.
I love that. Now it's 2024 now. Back in 2019, you tweeted, "Don't compare." I love this. "Don't compare me to nobody. I'm one of one." So, is there a comparison?
That was a high school tweet?
Well, yeah, I think so. It was like 2019. But I like it because I don't love a player comparison. But if there was one that would make you say, "Okay, I guess. All right, I kind of see it. I like that one." Who would it be?
I would say really a kind of a combination between Leonard Fournette and Joe Mixon, just in terms of the running style and being able to be a threat with being able to make defenders miss while also bringing that, powerful presence.
Okay, now I'd like you to go to Cincinnati. As you can see.
You a Bengals fan? Oh, I see it back there.
Yeah, well, I just think this is a badass helmet. But I think you look good in this could work for you. Yeah. What do you think, Kendall?
No, it looks good. My uncle, actually, he played for the Bengals for a year.
What? Who's your uncle?
A little Kevin Hardy.
Okay.
It was back in the day a little bit.
That's fine. Bengals fans will love to hear that. I have nothing to add to that, but I don't know. But did he give you any advice about getting into the NFL?
Yeah, so he was actually fortunate enough to he went 1st round, 2nd pick in the '96 draft. So, won the Buckets Award and everything. So he really experienced everything that, I'm going through, even at a higher level.
Yeah.
So he was definitely somebody that I went to during the process, especially leading up to the combine and meeting with teams and kind of wanting to know what to expect. He was somebody that kind of broke it down to me and kind of just made it more comforting and made it more simple for me to know what I was getting into.
Is this the guy who was drafted to the Jags? This is he was an All-Pro, no?
Yes, ma'am.
All-Pro. He's finished his career in Cincinnati, but he was drafted to Jacksonville.
Yeah, to the Jaguars.
Okay, I didn't realize that little pedigree, that little connection there. We love seeing that. I would also say when you're answering that question about like why you're a 3-down back, how about a little wear and tear? How about a little like you don't have any of that. You're not want to know some running backs that split carries? Priest Holmes, ever heard of him? Nick Chubb split carries.
Yes, ma'am, for sure.
When he was in college, there's that too, right?
Yeah, and that was definitely something that that definitely made me want to go to Georgia, though, just knowing kind of the competition within your own running back room every day. Like
James Cook, right? You and James Cook?
Yeah, James Cook, Zamir White, Kenny McIntosh. Those are guys that, Dejon Edwards, like we came into Georgia and, we were a really competitive running back room. But there was no hatred. There was no animosity. We loved seeing each other achieve success. So when we would get in the game and split carries and we would just back to back to back, just be going through defenses and making it challenging for them to bring us down and advancing the, first down sticks. It brought us joy because it was just like a fun moment, just seeing the guys that you compete with every day, just have fun together.
Kendall, I just want to be your teammate. Like, I think if any of it, like, you're just honestly, the way you're talking and you mean that you're being genuine and authentic. I'm curious, how do you have time to breed puppies? What do I need to know about these bulldogs? Oh my God.
They're a little bully. So it turned out, my freshman year of, when I first got to Georgia, I bought a Merle Bully, which the breeder that I bought it from was located in Seattle, so I had to fly the dog out and everything, and but it came with a little like a little like a little nanny transporter. So she dropped the puppy off to me, and I call him my son. So I had my son since I was a freshman, and I really had the whole plans to really start the whole get into the breeding because I love dogs. I plan to have once football and everything's all said and done, I want to have a house on a lot of land and have a whole lot of dogs running around and things like that. So But outside dogs, though, they don't stay outside. But you know,
Got it.
I want that to be the end goal. So I kind of had the whole breeding thing already, you know, in my mind. It was just really finding somebody that I trusted to be able to do business with and be able to, you know, have the right, you know, because I didn't want to put my dog in the wrong position and things like that.
I mean,
So
no, it's your
I was,
son. I mean, you're a grandpa. Congratulations.
appreciate you. But so I found one of my, you know, friends within Atlanta. He actually had his own, you know, kind of breeding business, or he had his own bully business. So we decided to partner together. And, you know, as you see, that was the first litter that I ever was a part of. And, you know, definitely beautiful pups.
A proud grandpa. There he is. Kendall Milton coming to an NFL locker room that is lucky AF near you. Thank you so much for the time. This was so fun to get to know you. And now you have a bunch of new fans just rooting for you wherever you might go.
Yes, ma'am. I thank you. Thank you guys for taking the time and allowing me to, you know, come on here. Definitely enjoyed the conversation.
University of Georgia running back, Bloody Tuesday. Who knew? We'll be back right here on the Up and Adam Show.